Hi guys, Kurt here. Wow, it's been a long time. I haven't done any uploads on YouTube, so just all my apologies about that. That's has to do with some personal stuff. Maybe if you follow my channel, you might know that, but my main job has nothing to do with these scooters. I'm just a perfumer, so I just make perfumes. And I just use these scooters. I'm a user of these scooters, and I've been using these electric scooters for quite some time now, so it's my passion. And yeah, over the past few what is it, 8 months, I think it's about 8 months or 7 months, I haven't done any update on these scooters. We've been working very hard also to improve the scooters, to give you the best of the best. Now let me just tell you something. It's a story about my personal experience. We have a van from a particular brand name, and we had the previous model of the same or the previous version of the same model about 7-8 years ago. When we sold the old one, we got the new one in. It's an updated model of the same brand name of vans, and what strikes me is that we actually bump into the same problems that we had with the previous model. So there was an issue with the air conditioning. There was an issue with also the starter of the van, and I don't know. This for me means that I'm not going to use this brand name, this car brand name anymore, because it means that they don't actually address issues that they have with their vans. And I don't understand how they actually operate, how they work, but if you have a software writer and he has a program with a bug and he is going to release a new version, he's going to take out the bug so he can actually release a new version that is more stable. That said, that's actually my philosophy about these electric carbon scooters. Okay, so if we have a design flaw or if we have issues, we bump into issues, we just try to improve that. And that's why we have now a new version of the Hero model. So this is the Hero model, the S5. This is the Hero model, the S5 Pro. Physically, you don't see much of a difference, okay, because we try to keep the same look of the scooter, but technically there are a lot of upgrades that have been done between this one and this one. And these upgrades, they have been done due to some issues that we had, but also due to feedback that we got from our customers. Some of the upgrades have to do with physical stuff, some upgrades have to do with programming in the controller, etc, etc. So let me just go over the issues that we had with the S5 model. As you know, I am also a user of these scooters, so I use them every day. And when I'm driving, I'm always thinking like, okay, I just hope that my customers, they enjoy as much as I am enjoying this scooter. And when I bump into issues, I just want you as a customer not to experience these issues. So I'm just going to upgrade them, I'm going to update them, I'm going to try to improve it, even if I have to open them up, all of them, before I ship them out. I will do that because I want you to have the best experience when you buy a product from me, and I also want you to have a good experience even after you bought it, because my customers, they know I just send them out emails if they want to have updates on the scooters, okay, if they want to have upgrades about the bearing sleeve, for example, because that's one of the issues that we had. This is the bearing sleeve. This is actually the section that is over here, okay, and there were some issues with the bearing sleeve, okay. The issue has to do with the inner tube. So there's a little tube here that holds this whole section all together. So, and this inner tube was showing some very unusual tear and wear after about 500 to 1000 kilometers of use. Now, if you buy these scooters, you're supposed to be able to drive with them at least 5,000 to 10,000 kilometers. So, and that's my main goal, and that's also what I try to achieve, is that you don't have to actually do any maintenance, and that you actually can use the scooter like 2 or 3 years without having any major issues. So basically, let me just explain also how you can physically see the difference between the S5 and the S5 Pro. First of all, on the bearing sleeve you will see the DM mark. DM mark is right here, okay? It stands for Decosoap mark. Decosoap is the company name of myself. It's the umbrella of the company that carries the perfume shop or the perfume business, and also the scooter business. So also physically you will see that there is a spring around the cable that connects the battery pack that's under the deck to the front wheel and the controller. Okay, you don't have this on the S5, the normal one, so you don't see the DM sign and you don't have this spring. So basically, technically, what we have improved is, first of all, the cable quality that is inside the spring over here, and we also improved the protection of the cable over here, because it seems that we had only one customer having this issue, but there was a flaw in the cable, and that issue was resolved. On the other hand, so inside the bearing sleeve, this tube over here has been changed from aluminium to steel. So this means that this tube now is very robust, and we have been doing some very extensive, very extensive tests on the bearing sleeve section over here before we upgraded the bearing sleeve with the new inner tube over here. So actually the thickness of the tube has doubled, and we changed from aluminium to metal steel. Another update that we have done has to do with the controller. Now let me just grab the controller. This is one of these controllers that had an issue, and we just found out that some of these elements, with very excessive vibrations, they actually got loose. So what we've done on the print that is, and this is a new version, this one here, on the print of this one here, you can barely see it from here, but we have put glue, so it's fully glued, and all the components, they are actually glued together, so they cannot, shake off anymore. And that makes it much more robust. So we've done some very extensive tests about the solidity of the controller as well, since we've done these updates. Okay, so basically these are the only physical difference that you will see from the S5, the Hero S5 and the Hero S5 Pro. For the rest, there has been no physical change, because we didn't need any other physical change for the scooter. Let me just put the camera back and explain you a couple of more things that we have upgraded and updated. Some of you, they might know, but these scooters, they have a maximum speed of 25 kilometers per hour, but there's also a way to increase the velocity, the maximum speed, to 30 kilometers per hour, even 32 to 34. This one has a maximum speed of 32 kilometers per hour. The Pro version has a little bit higher speed, so we're looking at 33, 34 with a driver weight of about 70 kilo, because I'm 70 kilo. Also, we have upgraded the cables inside the scooter, and also the connection over here and the pole here to the bearing sleeve has been improved. So we now we had some issues. It was not a major issues, but after like 300-400 kilometers, the inner screws here, they came loose with the vibrations, and now we actually have no inner screws anymore. We have long screws, so there's only one screw that holds everything together, and they don't come loose anymore. So that's another improvement. The other thing that has been improved has to do with programming. So this version here does actually also have, let me grab the camera again, does actually also have the kick to start. So if you look and I turn it on, you will see that you actually can enable kick to start. To enable kick to start, I'm going to use my 2 fingers. I just have to press both, and you will see the M sign from the motor that starts to flash, and now we actually have kick to start. The reason why we wanted to have kick to start, because it's a loophole for some certain countries, so I'm just gonna turn it off. It's a loophole for certain countries, and they require that you have a kick to start for these scooters. Another issue that we bumped into with the scooters has to do with the low battery voltage. When you drive the scooter around and you get at about 35% of remaining battery, you had a beep like this. So this was pretty annoying, and we have actually taken out this signal, so there is no signal anymore for the low battery. The only message that you will get is on the display itself, where it starts to flash. And you know, these batteries, actually, this low battery voltage, the voltage goes up and down depending on the terrain that you're driving on. And if you're using dual motor, the fluctuations between the voltage when you're going up a terrain can be pretty high. And it didn't make any sense to have this alarm screaming out loud when you have the low voltage. So this has been improved as well. No signal anymore. On the other side, I've been also doing some very, very extensive tests about the range that you get out of these scooters. And this has been tested with my weight. I'm 70 kilos. When I have the dual motor turned on, permanently, and I'm in gear number 3 with the speed limiter off, with the maximum speed of 34 kilometers per hour, I get a range of about 22 kilometers. And this is just on terrain that goes up and down, so it's not a flat terrain, okay? When I have disabled the dual motor and I've been driving only with the single motor, I got about 28 kilometers out of one charge with a single motor on the 3rd gear, so on the maximum speed. When I go to the 2nd gear, my range goes up to 32 to 33 kilometers on a single charge on flat terrain. And the maximum distance I've ever been able to drive with these guys on the flat terrain is 38. It's on a single motor and on economy mode, so in the 1st gear. 38 kilometers, that is a hell of a distance. So it's really, really good for a scooter, especially if you consider that the weight is only 12 kilo for this model here. So that's really, really good, because you need to have batteries to bring you 38 kilometers far, because if they claim that they can get like 40 and 45 kilometers, it's probably fake. You have a specific amount of weight that comes with the energy that you can generate with these batteries, and you have to consider and you can calculate it. There's another guy who commented in one of my previous videos, and he told me like, okay, this is the distance you can do with a battery pack that has this particular weight. Good. So what is my experience so far? This one now has a total range that I've been driving, and total is maybe like about 1,200 kilometers. Also on my S3 model, the previous model, if you look back in my previous videos, I've got now 2,500 kilometers. Now, I've been driving with this one most of the time because I think the older model, the S3 model or the single motor model, is good for ladies with a very, lightweighted driver. You can, still go with that one. But yeah, if you're a sportive guy like me and you are living in a very hilly area, I certainly recommend the dual motor. Once you start to use the dual motor, you don't want to step back, and you don't want to go back to a single motor for sure, because you will feel a single motor is very sluggish, it's very, very slow, and you cannot drive up a hill with a single motor, especially if you're living in a hilly area. And that's why these scooters here, the S5 Pro, the Hero S5 Pro, or the Hero S5, the normal one, they're very, how could I say, they're very good for people who have a high weight, who are maybe like 90, 100 kilos. And especially if you're living in a hilly area. There is no other scooter on the market right now, and this is the feature that is the best feature of these scooters, of course, is the power that it generates. You get 2 times 250 watts in the front and in the back of the scooter. You cannot get any more power. That's 500 watts of power on just a simple little scooter. That is a hell of a power. So the range is very good, and the power that you get when you climb a hill is very good. And let me tell you, I'm living in a pretty hilly area here, and I have had zero times I had to help the scooter to go on top of a hill. It just climbs any hill here. There are hills here of 17%. The other day I climbed a hill of 21%. With my weight, I didn't have to even push. I just drive up the hill, and I'm not talking about the hill of 100 meters long. I'm talking about the hills of 500 meters, 600 meters. So it's not when you have some momentum, when you go up and then it goes slow. But if the hill is short, of course you can get on top. But if you're talking about a hill about 500 or 600 meters long, it's pure power that you need to get on top of the hill without having to help kickstart or kick the scooter. So yeah, I certainly recommend these scooters for those people. And all the other scooters around there on the internet that they sell, you won't be able to get any power that is as close as what you can get out of the S5, the Hero S5 Pro. Now, regarding you as a customer, I'm not sure if you are a customer, you know that every single person who buys from my website, I just want to get in touch with you, and that means that I'm very open for communication because I want to have feedback from my customers. What I mean with that, if you order on my website and you are here in Europe, I just ask you, add my WhatsApp. I'll give you my phone number, my WhatsApp phone number. Add my WhatsApp, we communicate, I'll tell you what happens, and if there is an issue, I want you to be on the road as fast as you can. Because for me, as I told you, this is my hobby, it's not my job, okay? And I personally also only buy stuff, if I can, from people who sell them and use the product themselves. Because if you don't buy it from somebody who uses themselves, how the hell can they know anything about the product that they're selling? In my case, I know these scooters inside out. If you have any issues, I will help you out. I will give you technical assistance. I've got all the spare parts of these scooters, whether it has to do with the motor, whether it has to do with the controller, whether it has to do with the front light, the dashboard, the battery. I've got all these spare parts, so once you are off the road, you will be on the road very, very quickly. One more thing regarding the solid tires here. This one now has about 1,000 kilometers, and you can see that the solid tires, probably you can't, but you can see that the solid tire is getting used up. And with the S3 model, my solid tire had 2,500 kilometers of range, and I have changed the solid tire. So people, they have been asking me, oh, what about the solid tire? Can you change it? Of course you can change it. And it's a procedure that takes about 1 hour, and it has, you need to have a little bit of power in your hands. There are some techniques, but you can actually change these solid tires of these scooters. I've got them in stock as well, so if you need to change any solid tires, let me know. You can find them also on my website. So that's it about the update from the Hero S5 to the Hero S5 Pro. They're for sale right now on my website, in the link below. I might just do some extra videos regarding how to do the maintenance of these scooters, and I'll do that in a separate video regarding the batteries, because there's a couple of things that you need to know about lithium-ion batteries that you need to understand to be able to understand why certain things have to be done regarding the charging and stuff like that. I'll do that in a separate video, but basically also I would like to show you and make some videos about how they drive up the hill. I'm going to ask a friend of mine if he can help me out with some footage with his quadcopter and all this kind of stuff. So this is upcoming here in the next few weeks and months on this channel. Be aware that the scooters that I have in stock, they're limited. They're only about 50 pieces that we have for sale, so it's gonna go pretty fast, I guess. We'll have a new shipment after that, but in the meantime, I'm just listening to any more feedback that I get from you guys. And if you are a person who bought this scooter before from us and you bump into issues, please contact me, okay? Because if you need to do a replacement of the bearing sleeve, we are more than willing to give you a free bearing sleeve upgrade. So that is no problem, because for me customer service is much more important. I want you to be on the road for as long as you can, and that's my guarantee to you. So thanks for listening, and hopefully we can see you soon again with a new video about the batteries, because there's a long video, I guess, that I have to make about that. See you guys.